Hello everybody out there, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another vlog. And I'm sure a lot of you clicked this video because of the title alone. I'm sure it caught a lot of your eyes for one reason or another. And the title of this video is The Truth, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff I want to actually talk about that I'm sure some people have taken a notice to, or maybe some things that none of you notice. And there's also stuff that I want to talk about just in general, moving forward and stuff like that. And I want to be truthful about it. And this video, before we go any further, it's going to be a one take, one recording. So if I mess up this intro, if I mess up anything in the middle of the video, there's not going to be a cut. There's not going to be any edits. I'm going to try my hardest. The only way you'll see an edit, which is where like video will skip for a moment, is if I completely have a brain freeze, which shouldn't happen. But there are moments sometimes where I try to remember something and I take a lot of dead air, and in that case I will edit that out. But I'm going to try my hardest not to, because this is a very important video to me. This is a very important video I want to share with very important topics I want to share with all of you. And I want to be as open as possible with you. And through edits and cuts because of intros, that takes away from the genuineness of what this video is about. So this is the first time I've already moved my mouse away from the record button. So if I sound like a dope at some point, I apologize in advance. I may look like this a little bit. I actually have a lot of the things I want to talk about, major and minor, bullet pointed for a reason. A lot of the times I'll go from one major thing I'm talking about to another, because I have all the major important things I want to talk about up here already. I know that. But there are minor details for each thing, each major thing I want to talk about. And sometimes I'll transition into the next major thing and forget something minor that I want to mention. And then I'll come back later, I'll watch the video, I'll be like, I forgot to mention that. And I don't want to edit, like I said, anything in. So that's why I have a list that I'm looking at. Now, I do that anyway on occasion, but this time there's a lot more involved with this list. So I might be looking at this list and reading it. That's not dead air. That's me making sure I've covered everything, as opposed to when I'm completely just brain frozen for something. So, the truth. What is the truth? Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to start with the year. We're going to go from the macro and work our way into the micro. 2019 started off, I said at the beginning of the year, this was going to be a year of progress, creating, and it's going to be a big year in general. And it's been a progressive year. It's been an amazing year. A lot has happened. A lot has gone on from January all the way through to now. And I'm very happy about that. However, the past 2 months, or I would say maybe from the middle to end of summer to now, a lot of major stressors have been going on. And the progressive year kind of took a bit of a stumble. So 90% of the year I've been progressive. The past couple of months, and there were two major stressors. Anyone who's followed any of the channels that I'm part of, you know what those are already without me mentioning it. And for those people who are here to see if I'm talking about them or if I'm talking about the situation to add more drama or more whatever, this is probably going to be the part where you click off the video, because this video is focusing on me, and I'm not here to give that situation or person any extra attention. So no, I'm not here to add any dirt or drama or nothing. There are two major situations. If you know them, if you've been following my other channels, you know them. If you haven't, then it's even better for you, so you don't need to know them. They're not important for you. So, and that's a good thing. I say that in all the best intentions. It's good for you that you don't know those two major things, but I'm not going to give those time in my video. So, there's no drama. Sorry. So, if you're here for that, you probably already left. So, like I was saying, it's been a very progressive year, and things kind of started to slow down due to that. And as some of you may or may not know, I've been dealing with a great deal, well, not a great deal, a fair amount of depression, which led into a little bit of anger. And the reason I say you probably have figured it out is I am the kind of person that wears my emotions on my sleeves to a fault. When I feel a certain way, it's easy to read me a lot of the time. Sometimes I'm really good at putting on a face. When it comes to feeling down or anything like that, I'm good at putting on a happy face. But when I'm, upset, or when I'm in like some type of mood, usually people can feel that. And sometimes it comes off the wrong way, and I do apologize if it does. And that's another reason why videos kind of halted a bit, because I started feeling that in the videos, and I wasn't liking that in the videos. I didn't like the way they were going. Now, the good news is, I mentioned that for a reason. I identified why the spike in being upset, why the spike in anger and depression hit. And because I've identified the problems and stuff like that, I finally have been able to start to move forward from that and build off of that, instead of kind of pulling back myself a little bit. See, when it comes to me, when it hits me, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, when I get down, it just saps all the creativity out of me. I go from a 100 down to a 0, and productivity goes down to a 0 as well. And I'll work on something and I'll just get a writer's block, or I'll cluster too many good ideas into one specific point instead of stretching it out, and I'll end up scrapping the project and having to start over again, all due to just not being focused. I lose focus, and I realize it's something that I needed to work on, and that's what I spent a lot of the beginning of October doing, was identifying my issues and moving past it, not moving on from it, moving past it, and building up myself, and building up and getting over all these negative feelings. And I'll say this, September truly showed me a lot. It definitely, a lot of things came to light in September. Multiple things, not just two things, a lot of things. Finally, a lot of stuff became very clear to me. And that's why in October, I started to move past that. And I bring this up because, again, I'm always open with all of you, and all of you mean the world to me. And I bring this up also because I know a lot of people that suffer from depression on a more extreme level, and you can work past it. That, if anything, this is why I bring this up. I'm working past it. You can do it. I believe in all of you. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting over a lot of hurt, a lot of different things, and I'm trying to move on from all of that, and get on with the fun stuff that we all like. Now, what's been going on the past couple of months? You'll notice that the videos on this channel I stopped because I was focusing on Dark Avenger C86. I was, dealing with the relaunch, reformatting of that. We're going to get into that. And then now we have the Kickstarter. I'm going to talk about that later on. I'm going to try to keep everything in one section instead of repeating myself, because I notice I have that problem also in videos, and thus editing also happens. For those of you that don't know, I am the editor, poster, and everything. Everything with these videos I do on my own. So when I'm done with the videos, if there's editing to be involved, it's me. I say that for reasons that we'll talk about again later on, so I'm going to stop talking about that here. So what's going to be going on in the future? Because we talked about the past, and the past is the past. 90% of the year has been progressive. We still have 2 months left. We are entering November. Literally this Friday, we are hitting November 1st. So what's going to be going on in November? We're going to start off with Dark Avenger C86 because, as you all know, I tried out something new, something I'd never done before. On Dark Avenger C86, I tried out a schedule. I made a bunch of different videos. We had Dark Avenger Live returning. We had the weekly comic reads, the Spotlight, and then there was the Anticipated, which never started, same as the Spotlight, but I decided against doing that show completely. because we do it on Comic Book Weekly over on Comic Frontline. That being said, I know it's only been a couple of months, but for me, I reformatted the channel for one way, and things are a bit different now. For those of you that don't know, Michael has moved out, so a lot of the stuff that was planned on Dark Avenger C86 was a team. And obviously, Mike's not here at night when I record now anymore, so that team is now just me. And because of that, I have to reformat my reformat. So in reformatting the format, I came up with a really awesome idea, and it's going to allow for a few other things, and I'll explain what after this. So, starting within the next 2 weeks, I say that because I have a Kickstarter running until November 15th. Within the next 2 weeks, Dark Avenger Live is going to be returning on Dark Avenger C86. However, it's going to be on Fridays instead of Mondays at 9:30, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And the difference with the channel is going to be, I'm going to take all of the series I wanted to do separately, and they're all going to culminate within Dark Avenger Live. Kind of like what we did on Frontline, where we have Comic Book Weekly, where we talk about everything, and then we have a topic video the day after. Except on Dark Avenger C86, everything, all the ideas I had for the channel are going to all come together on one show. So on Dark Avenger Live, I'm going to be talking about the comics I'm reading the following week. I'm going to spotlight comic books. As a matter of fact, for the episode where we return, I will be spotlighting Argo Comics. That will be the first live show, the first Dark Avenger Live that comes back. I believe it's episode 3 or 4. I'm keeping the numbering. And the spotlight's going to fall on Argo 5, issue number 31, Teen Machine, issue number 1, Law & Order Summer Special, and Nature Man, issue number 1, the successfully funded Kickstarter right out of the imprint from Argo Comics. I'm going to be covering all of those books in the first spotlight on Dark Avenger Live. So I'm reformatting the channel into a show instead of all these different things, because for me, honestly, I know it, like I said, I know it's only been 2 months, but with everything else that I have going on in my life and everything going on online, for me, a schedule just wasn't working because I was missing things. I was missing days. I was missing events. I still have yet to start a spotlight, but Dark Avenger Live I was always able to get on for. So that's why Dark Avenger Live, taking all those things, is in my opinion, good idea. Now, some channel schedules work amazingly. Mike Spider Slayer, Comic Book Corner 2.0, it works amazing. He has an amazing following, an amazing fan base, and he does amazing content. What are you doing if you haven't been checking him out if you're into comic books? But it's worked for him, and I'm glad it's worked for many people. For me, the best schedule that I've ever had was live shows. Comic Book Weekly, formerly known as Frontline Live, and Dark Avenger Live. Those are the best schedules I've ever had. So that's why I've decided to kind of abandon my schedule as I see it's already interfering with other things, and just go back to having a Dark Avenger Live show where I'll talk about a bunch of different things, and it'll give content to Dark Avenger Live as well, because I feel like right now Dark Avenger Live, the reason why the show ended the first time was because of lack of content. Now I have content that I know people liked, and I'll be able to put it into the live show so that the live show has content, and the people that enjoyed the content separately can now come on the live show and enjoy it live if they're available on Friday nights. If not, then it'll be in a video, and they'll be able to enjoy that along with all the other content that I originally had planned for the channel. So it's just, let me make sure I covered it all. Yep, and yes. So I honestly, other than Dark Avenger, other than Comic Frontline, and one other big project I'm working on, I'm not going to talk about that just yet, but I have 2 major projects, one of them. But other than one project, these 3 areas, I'm going to be pulling away from reviews and media. I know I talked about this, but I noticed going back to Dark Avenger C86, I was going right into media again. But I'm going to back a little bit more away from media so that I can get into doing some original content. Original content both in my writing on Shooting Star Universe, which I haven't been able to do yet. And original content, there are some series I'm working on for right here on this channel for YouTube. And I've talked about them with all of you. I mentioned that I was going to have a couple of series. I have a couple of people that are interested in those series. And I want to get into that. I want to get back to writing, and I want to get back into doing some original content, because that was one of the things I enjoyed most about Brooklyn Boys, was coming up with a concept for an idea and then doing it and having a fun series out of it. So that's something I want to do here. I'm still going to be doing some random stuff here, there, and everywhere, of course. I'm still going to be doing vlogs, but I definitely want to get some creativity flowing again. The first half of this year, planning all the fun skits and all the fun shorts. I'm going to call them shorts, not even skits. All the fun shorts. Shorts meaning like anywhere from 5 to 10 minute videos. I had a bunch of fun just sitting there and coming up with so many ideas and so many different concepts. And actually, one of those concepts is one of those 2 major projects I'm talking about. That's going to be later on this year or going into next year. But I want to get more creative. And one of the things that I noticed was working on a schedule for Dark Avenger and trying to get that off the ground. All my focus went there, and as you all can see, this channel, other than this video, a bag opening, a random shirt bag opening, and I think 1 or 2 other videos, this channel actually went quiet because I spent a lot of time focusing on making sure I stayed on schedule. And I feel like I work best when I have the freedom to post what and when I want, outside of the live shows. Doesn't count the live shows, but as far as videos, I work better when I don't have a timetable in my head. Now, obviously, there's a cutoff for certain, especially when it comes to talking about certain books, or certain events, or whatever. But that's for Dark Avenger C86, and again, I could cover all that on the live show. For here, though, I want to focus on that. And honestly, I wasn't happy with the schedule, like I said, and it was cutting into writing because, as I was saying before, editing is all done by me. And the weekly comic book reads, for example, took a while for me to do. Number 1, I had to find all the covers to all the books I was reading. Number 2, I had to get the video. I had to cut out all the dead air, all the and I still had a lot of uhs. I notice I say a lot, but see, I just did it there. But as much as I could, I cut out, and then come in and put all the graphics in, put all the subtitles in and everything like that. And that would take a while. And that's time that's cutting out of other things I'd want to do. And that's especially why I said while I'm doing this Kickstarter, I was going to end those programs, because I knew it took a lot of my time. And that's kind of what took away from me writing. That's what took away from me working on any more original content, was I was so focused on learning how to be on a schedule and executing it. So, and maybe it was also the fact that, a lot of the stuff would have worked better, like I said, on the live show. I don't know. But either way, it was cutting into all the stuff that I wanted to do. And then you have the stressors that add on top of that, and the stressors I've already got, as you all know, with all the stuff that's going on in my family. So with all of that piled on top of one another, it made it hard to get stuff done for me. Isn't an excuse. It's what it is, unfortunately. But I do want to get back to the original stuff. So that being said, I think I want to make sure I got all that. Yes. So I will be working on a lot of original stuff. I have some really fun stuff in the works. Unfortunately, that's what I wanted to say. Now I remember. As with reformatting the format on Dark Avenger, once again, I have to reformat I have to reformat the original content I have, as once again, I am doing all the work by myself now, alone. So, with that being said, a lot of the dual skits or the dual shorts with myself and whomever is in it, some will remain, obviously, because those people are around, but others won't, for obvious reasons that I've talked about earlier. So I have to work on those. But I'm not going to work on any of that until after November 15th. Because right now, as we speak, the Celestial Falcon issue number 1 Deluxe Edition Kickstarter. I think I said deluxe twice. I have no clue. Either way, the Celestial Falcon number 1 Deluxe Edition on Kickstarter is going right now. We are over 70% funded. There's 17 days as of this recording. There's 17 days left. We have hit our 50 backer goal, which was our first goal from a couple of days ago. We're very happy about that. The Kickstarter is going amazing, and I want to give this my 100% full attention. So all of my energies and stuff are going into this Kickstarter. Brant has done an amazing job with the Kickstarter page, has done an amazing job promoting, and he's done this for other Kickstarters for Last Ember Press, and Brant works super hard. Harder than I think anyone online realizes, because there's a lot that you see in front of the camera, but there is also a whole other side behind the cameras, and Brant has done above and beyond for Celestial, for other Kickstarters from Last Ember Press, especially for Celestial, because Celestial has relaunched, and I feel that I need to give 110% for myself, for Celestial Falcon, and especially for Brant, who's giving 110% himself. And there are certain moments where I feel like I could do more. And with having all of the other stuff on YouTube right now, I feel like, or doing other work right now, I don't want that to get in the way, because we are so close to our goal. And our goal is obviously to reach the goal and then to go beyond it. And that's what my hope is, that we reach our goal and go as far beyond it as humanly possible. So that's why I want to dedicate my energies and everything else over to the Kickstarter. So what does that mean? Does that mean I'm stopping all this created content? No, because there are free moments in the day where I'll sit down and I'll think about it, and I'll think of something funny, and maybe I'll put it down on paper. But for the most part, yes, I am focused on the Kickstarter. Yes, I have a lot of stuff I'm planning to do on Facebook. I've done a few live shows. I plan on doing one, if not every day, every other day, talking about where we're at on the Kickstarter, talking about something about my writing, talking about writing in general, talking about the rewards, talking about milestones that we hit. I plan on doing a lot of talking. So if you haven't checked it out already, the link will be in the description below for Celestial Falcon's Kickstarter. If you haven't pledged, and you can, I hope you do. If you can't pledge for whatever reason, I hope you share it. That's the most important thing, is sharing it. It's okay if you can't back the project, but if you share it around with all of your friends, with your family and everybody else, somebody might want to. And that's just as good as you donating or pledging to the project yourself. The fact that you found somebody who's interested and actually took an interest enough to pledge some money down for the project is enough. It really is. You'd be surprised how just sharing a project can make the world of a difference to the project. So that's all I'm hoping you all will do, is that if you can't pledge, share it. If you can pledge and you want to share it, that's double awesome, and I appreciate that, and we appreciate that, and it means the world to us, regardless how much or how little. It's still something. So that's where my focus is now. Come November 15th, the Kickstarter will be over. That's when you're going to start seeing some real fun stuff. I have a few things in mind. I have 2 major projects that are secret right now. I'm working with multiple people on those 2 secret projects. And it's going to be a very interesting end of 2019 and exciting beginning to 2020. Because the stuff that I have in mind, there's going to be a lot of fun, creative stuff. On top of AEW Aftershock that you all see, that Brant and I do on Comic Frontline. It goes live every Friday. Comic Book Weekly, the new live show on Comic Frontline. Dark Avenger Live, which I just mentioned. Those are all things you know about. Those are all things that involve, my thoughts on whatever I just mentioned. Comic books, wrestling, and I've got to take a moment to just say AEW, man, AEW has revitalized my love for wrestling, and I know a lot of people are talking against AEW, a lot of people who think they know more than they do. No, you don't, Jim, and you know who you are, Jim. You probably don't even watch my video, so why do I care? But anyway, AEW is wrestling, and it feels like it, and it feels good to have that feeling back, in enjoying a sport again. And with that being said, AEW Aftershock is definitely something I'm very passionate about. And as passionate as I am with that and the other live shows, I want to give you all 110% on all of my other creative projects. I want you all to feel the passion I have for all my creative projects. And you will definitely, because I'm going to put my heart, soul, and energy into making sure you feel that. Because I'm not going to put out just any product. It's going to be to the best of my abilities, which unfortunately, editing-wise, let's hope I get better. But anyway, I want to think, is there anything else that I want to talk about? Because I had something in my mind. See, this is why I have everything bulleted. Writing, yes. ShootingStarUniverse.com as well. After November 15th, I will have writing again. There's a lot of things on my mind, that I want to talk about, thoughts that I want to share with the world, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And like I said, Warrior X won in the polls. Wasn't too many votes, but for the votes that were there, Warrior X won. So with that being said, I will be doing Warrior X. So there's going to be some written work on Shooting Star Universe very, very soon as well. I'm excited about that because that's going to be a story, once again, I never thought I'd share with the world, but here we are and here we go with that. So there's going to be a lot of content. And I mentioned that on Facebook. I mentioned that in social media. I'm going to say it here. A lot of content is coming. It's going to be fun. And I hope you are all as excited as I am. I say that a lot too. I hope you all are, because I do hope you all are as excited as I am. I mean, I do these videos to make sure that regardless whether how many or how little comments or messages I get, I want to make sure that you all know where I'm at, where everything is at, because we have I feel I have a special bond with everyone who watches my videos, because you're here to watch my content, and I want to make sure that you enjoy everything, or at least most everything that you see. And that is the goal for the rest of 2019, is to make good content. I have some content ready to go. I have a short that I wrote it and outlined it before the Kickstarter started. So I will be recording it after the Kickstarter, though. Tommy and I have a couple of other videos that we're going to be doing together on the channel right here. I do have one thing that I'm going to be getting monthly. You'll see next month, as a matter of fact. In November it starts. I'll be doing that monthly, once a month. The live shows will be back on schedule right after the Kickstarter, like I said. And you'll be seeing a lot of writing. There's a lot of thoughts I have, a lot of really fun creative things that I want to share, and we definitely will have a fun journey together. Again, this is not a new chapter. I feel like this is another part to the new chapter I started back in September. It's just something that's happened in this chapter that twist-of-fated the chapter into a different direction than you all or I expected. Now we're going into the unexpected, which excites me. I like unexpected. And I've kept you all here for almost 30 minutes talking about this now. I want to thank you all for being here this long. Look forward to a lot of content. And keep an eye out for a teaser that I actually started at the beginning of this week. You'll find it on Facebook. It's public, so if you're not a friend of mine on Facebook, it's still public enough for you to see it. But it's definitely teasing one of the bigger projects that I'm working on. I hope to be working on less secret projects and doing more known projects in 2020. That's the next goal, is instead of making more projects, it's moving forward with all of these new projects and shorts and stuff that I'm creating. So look forward to that in 2020. End of 2019. Hell, I'm not even waiting for certain things. You'll be seeing it right after this Kickstarter. And then after this Kickstarter, March, Celestial Falcon issue number 2 is tentatively coming to Kickstarter. So I hope you all are ready. I am overly excited and overly ready for that and everything else that I have planned. Thank you all for being here and listening to me talk for a little bit and reach out to each and every one of you. You're welcome to comment anything you'd like. Again, I do what I do here for all of you and because of all of you. I love all of you out there. Thank you so much for sticking by me through all these crazy times. But we have a lot of fun times ahead. I can promise you all that. There's a lot of fun stuff coming. And there's more vlogs. Way more vlogs coming. So till then, I'll see you all really soon in the next video. But also, if you're on Facebook, I'll see you guys live every other day almost, except on the weekend. And don't forget to check out Twitch. I'm sorry for keeping you for an extra couple of seconds, but I do sporadically stream gaming on Twitch. It's not #1 priority, but I do still like gaming, and sometimes I like to game and talk with people. So if you're not following me, Dark Avenger Gaming on Twitch, love to talk with you while I play my games, and we can talk video games and stuff like that. See you all next time.